You ever feel like your leaders are just drowning in data, but they can't find a single drop of wisdom? It's a huge problem, right? We throw all this incredible tech at them, and it just creates more noise. So today, we're going to dig into the insights from leadership mentor Jun Nakamura. We'll figure out how to make technology a real ally for your top execs, not just another headache. All right, let's jump right in. Is your business chasing Industry 4.0? I mean, you know the buzzwords: AI, AR, the Internet of Things, the whole shebang. The pressure to get on board is just immense. But here's the question you've got to ask yourself. Are you just chasing a trend, or are you actually building a strategy? Because here's the thing. According to Nakamura, just grabbing the latest shiny tech without a real foundation, well, that's just plain short-sighted. And it's a super common mistake, one that just burns through cash and leaves you with, well, not much to show for it. And that leads us right into what we can call the Industry 4.0 trap. It's this idea that just having the new tech is enough. Let's break down why that's such a dangerous way to think. And man, the lure is powerful, isn't it? I mean, who wouldn't want to harness the power of AI or have these seamless virtual workspaces? The promise is this huge leg up on the competition. It's so easy to fall into the mindset that buying the tool is the same thing as buying the solution. But you guessed it, that's exactly where the trap is. But this is the key takeaway. Without that solid foundation we talked about, these technologies, they're just band-aids. They're not a real sustainable revolution. They basically become these super expensive toys in a system that's just not ready for them. And that means you never, ever get to unlock what they can really do. Okay, so if the shiny new tech isn't the answer, then what is? Well, the real solution starts way, way before you ever think about writing a single line of code. It all starts with two words: mindset and process. This is the foundation for absolutely everything else. And this is what Nakamura calls the MPT model. The sequence here is absolutely crucial. It's non-negotiable. If you get it backwards and start with technology, you're really just putting a high-tech engine on a broken car. It's not going anywhere faster. You have to start with the right mindset. Then you build solid processes. And only then, at the very end, do you bring in technology to act as a powerful amplifier for a system that you already know works. And this really gets to the heart of it all. Technology's job is to enhance leadership and process, not to substitute for them. The second you try to use an app to replace a real conversation or a solid workflow, you've already lost. So let's take all this and apply it to a challenge that, let's face it, almost everyone is dealing with now: leading from a distance. How can your leaders possibly stay effective when they can't be everywhere at once, especially with remote work and global teams becoming the norm? Well, a big part of the answer comes from a really powerful Japanese principle called Genshi Genbutsu. It basically translates to go and see for yourself. The idea is that real understanding doesn't come from some spreadsheet or report. It comes from actually being there, seeing reality at the source with your own two eyes. It's a huge deal in lean manufacturing, and really in any kind of effective leadership. Which brings us to a really interesting problem, right? How in the world can you go and see when you literally can't go and see? Does working remotely just make this whole principle impossible? No, not at all. But you have to use technology the right way. See, the wrong way is to use it as a substitute, right? A wall of screens that stands in for real connection. But the correct way is to use technology as a bridge. It's a tool that connects people across any distance and supports those reliable, self-managing systems that you've already put in place. Okay, so how do we actually do this? This isn't just some abstract theory. The practical solution is to build a specific tool that lets leaders practice a kind of digital go and see. And that tool is a custom leadership dashboard. And the way you build it follows that MPT model perfectly. Notice, it starts with people, not with code. Step 1, leaders get together and define what information they actually need. Then, and I love this part, they prototype the whole thing physically. I'm talking paper, sticky notes, whiteboards. This is brilliant because it makes sure the tool is built for humans before you spend a single dime on development. Only after all that do you hand it over to IT to build the real thing and hook it up to the data. So what kind of info goes on this thing? We're talking about the critical, real-time, vital signs of the business, all at a glance. Production lead time, revenue, expenses, whether your machines are actually running, cash flow, inventory, what your sales pipeline looks like. It's like the patient monitor for your entire company, all in one place. But here's the real magic, the secret sauce. A truly great dashboard doesn't just spew data at you. Its most important job is to automatically figure out and show you the deviations from your plan. It instantly puts a spotlight on where you're winning and, even more crucial, where things are going off the rails. This lets your leaders get ahead of problems instead of constantly just reacting to them. So when you put this all together, you get the right mindset, you have solid processes, and you've got a dashboard built to supercharge them. The result is honestly transformative. You end up with technology that doesn't chain your leaders to their desks. It actually sets them free. And this is the transformation we're talking about. Your executives can finally stop firefighting. You know what I mean? Getting pulled into every little operational crisis that pops up during the day. When you give your teams the right processes and the right information, they can handle it. And that frees up your leaders to focus on what they're really there to do.
And what is that true role? Well, it's the big picture stuff, the work that actually drives the future of the company. We're talking about strategic planning, working with your global partners, collaborating with suppliers, and maybe most important of all, getting out there and finding future customers and sparking real innovation.
So when it all comes down to it, this isn't just about being a little more efficient. It's about genuine empowerment. It gives the people at the top of your organization the freedom and the clarity they need to stop managing the day-to-day and start building the future.
Let's end with a really powerful warning from Jun Nakamura himself. He says if we continue to ignore the importance of the people who use the technology, people will end up working for machines rather than their machines working for them. And that's really the ultimate challenge, isn't it? To build everything with human intention and to always remember to put people, mindset, and process before the machine.